Hello, boys and girls. Welcome again into this other segment of our lesson. Our lesson is going to be based on what we call global warming. Global warming refers to the increase in the world's temperature, which is caused by the increase of carbon dioxide gases into the atmosphere. Of course, when we have the increase of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere of the Earth, it makes it hard for these gases to escape into the space. Global warming is mainly caused by human activities. These include 1. Industrialization, deforestation, among others. Industrialization leads to the increase of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere. And of course, the increase of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere leads to the wearing off of the ozone layer. This ozone layer is responsible to regulate the amount of sunlight rays which are directed onto the Earth. These sunlight rays, once they escape after the ozone layer has been damaged, it causes a lot of effects. For example, the release of the ultraviolet rays which come directly from the sun affect human life, leading to diseases like skin cancer, among others. Number 2, we have what we call deforestation. Once trees are cut down in large numbers, the chances of rainfall being formed is reduced. And this directly affects the Earth. So remember, human activities like industrialization and deforestation increase global warming. Let's look at other human activities that lead to global warming. These include charcoal burning, fish smoking, of course in large quantities. We can talk of overgrazing and overstocking, bush burning, swamp drainage. Of course, there are human activities that affect climate positively and negatively. Let's look at those that affect our climate positively. For example, swamp conservation, bush fallowing, shifting cultivation, agroforestry, reforestation, and then afforestation. All these are the good farming practices that lead to the human activities that affect climate positively, like we've mentioned, include swamp conservation, bush fallowing, shifting cultivation, agroforestry, reforestation, and afforestation. Those human activities enable the Earth to have vegetation. Of course, this is the vegetation that makes use of the carbon dioxide that has accumulated into the atmosphere. Effects of human activities on climate and people. Deforestation that leads to drought, hence leading to low rainfall. Of course, once the vegetation has been cut down, automatically the chances of rainfall being formed in a particular area are reduced. Number 2, we can also look at bush burning, automatically leads to desertification. Some of you have seen how deserts look like. They were once areas with vegetation, but now those deserts do not have a lot of vegetation. Number 3, industrialization also leads to global warming. Remember, we said global warming refers to the increase of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere of the Earth. Now, brick making or charcoal burning leads also to heavy rains. Things like El Nino rains, the consistent rains, are caused as a result of the negative human activities. Next, we have pollution from industries. So those are some of the effects of human activities on climate and people. Industries also release toxic substances that leads to diseases like skin cancer. Okay, let's look at the effects of climate on people. We have climate determining human activities and settlement of people. We also have climate also determining the farming systems that are done by people. For example, people who live in deserts, they carry out what we call irrigation farming, as compared to people who live next to forest areas or to areas that experience high rainfall. We can also look at climate determining the way of people, the way of dressing of people. You realize that people in very cold areas prefer wearing heavy or thick clothes like jackets, jumpers, name it, as compared to people who live in hot areas. They prefer wearing light clothes, because the temperatures are normally high. Let's look at the other as climate determining the way of building houses in particular areas of this world. You realize that people, for example, in deserts, prefer building their houses with flat tops. People who live in equatorial areas prefer building houses with slanting roofs to enable the flow of rainfall. I beg to end there. Please find our activities attached onto our Edmodo accounts. I thank you so much.